Welcome to the kidsministry.blog podcast. Every episode, we share ideas, tips, and resources to help your children's ministry thrive.
Okay, so today we're diving into some really, really relatable territory. It's drawn straight from Kids Ministry blog, specifically an article they posted called My Top 5 Online Resources for Lesson Planning. And if you've ever stared at a blank screen, maybe late Saturday night, just frantically searching for anything for Sunday morning, then you know exactly this feeling, this kind of frantic energy the source material talks about.
Absolutely. It's that out of time, need a lifeline now moment.
Exactly.
And what's great here is how the author really nails down this challenge that, lots of people face, right? Needing good, effective resources fast under pressure.
Right.
So this deep dive, it isn't just about kids' ministry lessons. It's kind of peeling back the layers on, what makes an online tool actually valuable when you're in that bind?
And how sometimes the simple stuff works way better than flashy things.
Precisely. It's about those practical criteria.
Okay, so let's get into it. The author admits right off the bat to those panic Googling sessions, looking for kindergarten Bible lessons specifically.
Yep, been there.
And they talk about how frustrating it is trying to find stuff that doesn't need obscure craft supplies or activities that just dissolve into chaos.
Totally. That's a key point. You're sorting through sites that look, ancient, maybe like from 1997, or others that want you to subscribe before you even know if the content's any good. It's a real tension.
It is. So what was the first resource they highlighted, the first breakthrough?
So interestingly, it was Kids Sunday School Place. And this kind of flips the script on expecting modern looks. The author says it looked, quote, 10 years old.
Okay. Not exactly a glowing visual review.
No, but here's the thing. The content worked consistently. The lessons were straightforward. The activities didn't need a truckload of weird supplies.
Right.
And the games somehow didn't end in tears. They mentioned a Good Samaritan lesson that was a real lifesaver.
That really speaks volumes, doesn't it? Function over form.
Exactly. It tells us, look past the shiny packaging sometimes. What matters is, does it actually work in practice?
Yeah.
Is it pedagogically sound?
So true. Yeah. So after figuring out that, looks aren't everything, what was the next big hurdle or discovery?
Finding tools with realistic time estimates. That's crucial.
Definitely.
Which led them to Ministry to Children. The author calls this one their Midnight Lifesaver.
Nice.
And it covers a huge age range, toddler to preteen, which is super helpful if you're juggling different groups.
Yeah, that's versatile.
But the real, game changer, the time estimates were accurate. 15 minutes on the site meant 15 minutes in reality, and not, double that.
That is huge EE. We've all been burned by unrealistic time estimates.
Absolutely. They even shared a story about Joseph in the Coat of Many Colors lesson from there, saving the day when volunteers called out sick. It just worked.
Makes you think about how often we prioritize bells and whistles over just basic practicality.
For sure. Then the source brings up the Gospel Project. Now, this one's a paid option.
Okay, so a step up maybe.
Yeah, in terms of production quality, definitely higher quality. The lessons are designed to connect into bigger Bible themes, the larger narrative.
Awesome. More of a curriculum feel.
Sort of, yeah. Helping kids see the bigger picture. And the author noted, the videos weren't filmed on flip phones.
Always a plus.
And parents actually commented that their kids were learning a lot. So it's an example of, sometimes you invest strategically for that quality and depth.
Right. You get what you pay for sometimes.
Exactly. Then, shifting gears a bit, there's the GROW curriculum. What resonated here was its modern, flexible approach.
So it's both how?
Less rigid, It allows for more adaptation to what's actually happening with your kids in your room, which is pretty key these days.
Yeah, getting them engaged.
Yeah.
Especially with, technology and shorter attention spans, maybe?
Precisely. It values adaptable frameworks more than just rigid, prescriptive content.
Gotcha. And the last one?
The last one mentioned is SuperSimple. And it's not strictly a full lesson planning site. It's more a go-to for, exactly what the name says. Super simple, effective crafts and games, stuff using materials you probably already have.
The readily available stuff. Crucial.
Totally. And the author's insight here is that sometimes basic is exactly what you need, especially for wiggly preschoolers.
Makes sense.
They talked about a really simple Moses in the basket activity, dead simple, but it turned out to be one of the most engaging things they did.
Wow. So the power of simplicity again.
It really comes through.
Yeah.
So if you kind of pull back and look at the pattern, the author's unspoken criteria for these lifesaver resources seem to be usable content over flashy looks,
Right.
realistic time estimates,
Yes.
adaptability for different kids and situations, and finally, just embracing basic, easy-to-get materials.
That's a pretty solid blueprint, really. Not just for lesson planning, but finding good tools for almost anything.
I think so.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for you listening? Whether you're planning lessons or, I don't know, writing a report, doing any project on a tight deadline. This deep dive really reminds us that sometimes those simple functional sites with solid content, they beat the flashy ones hands down.
Yeah.
And maybe more importantly, that good enough can actually be good enough, especially when you're under the gun.
It really can. And connecting that to the bigger picture, it kind of raises a question, doesn't it? In this flood of information we live in, how do you personally find and keep track of your most reliable go-to resources?
Good question.
Not just for work, but for anything you need to learn or prep quickly. And maybe reflect on this. How often have you found that your best solutions actually came from accepting good enough instead of chasing some idea of perfect?
And maybe that good enough even turned out better in the end.
Exactly. Something to think about.
Thanks for listening. To find more ideas, tips, and resources, go to kidsministry.blog. We'll see you next time.